Cashflow Diary Podcast, episode 71.
Congratulations, you showed up. Give yourself a high five in celebration of your success. Welcome to the Cashflow Diary, where new and experienced investors come to take confident action towards their goals. Your host is a family man, a real estate entrepreneur, investor, coach, and instructor. As a master facilitator of Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow 101 game, he's inspired many to begin their journey into creating cash flow for themselves and their family. And now, here he is to offer you the tools required to earn the income desired. Your cash flow coach, Jay Massey.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cashflow Diary Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Massey. I am excited. Yes, still excited again, believe it or not. Now, some of you who are already members of the Cashflow Diary community, you're actually watching this on video. Some of you listening to us in the iTunes store, you're like, I want to watch it on video. Well, all you got to do is go over to the website, become a member, and it'll be awesome for you. Now, if you're joining us for the first time, one of the things you may want to do is go over to learninvestingnow.com, because there we have a course waiting for you that will begin your journey into real estate investing. Now, others of you, you're like, you know what? I'm done with the learning. Can you help me with the earning? Absolutely. You're going to go over to begininvestingnow.com, because at begininvestingnow.com, what we have are cash flowing assets waiting for you to go over there and just pick one. Pick two, pick three, pick as many as you'd like so that you can begin to build your cash flow with Cashflow Diary, and we will be right there to contact you. Today's episode, though, is all about building cash flow in a completely different way, using all kinds of tools online. And many of you, you know that that's something that I've been learning about. And one of the greatest things is that if you remember, is wealth is a team sport. You don't have to know it all, but you have to know who does. One of the unique secrets is that many people who have an abundance to share, they're willing to share it. You just have to ask. And that's what we're going to learn about today. We're going to learn about a subject called content marketing, something I know nothing about. I'm not going to really talk because today's expert knows way more about it than I can even come close to even trying to explain. And what I want you to understand is that what we try to do at the Cashflow Diary is bring you people who have done it and are doing it, not used to do it, not wanting to do it, not thinking about doing it someday, but that are in the process of doing it, just like us. We're out there still doing real estate, as many of you know, and that's one of the things that we love to do. But not all of you are interested in real estate. You want to be able to grow your cash flow in various different ways. You've been watching us build our online platform, our online real estate, if you will. And one of the new things that we're learning, in addition to Infusionsoft and many other tools, is how to market the information so that we can get our real estate business in front of more buyers, more sellers, more capital to do the good, clean, safe, affordable housing that you know and that you've come to know that we do. So today, we've got with us what I will call a YouTube expert, content marketing genius, and all-around guru on everything online. Okay, he probably would say something different, but you get the point. Welcome, Scott Bradley. Hey, Scott.
Hey, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Good. Glad that you are here. One of the things that I like to do is I always like to ask people are what I call their origin story. I envision that today's entrepreneurs are like yesterday's superheroes. And, you know, when we talk about Spider-Man and Superman and Wonder Woman and all these superheroes, they have an origin story, how they came to be. So before you were this online genius, tell us how you came to be. What was the beginning for Scott Bradley?
Well, that's a really interesting story. It actually began at Boston College during my freshman year.
Okay.
Where that was when Facebook was basically at the earliest stages of creation.
Okay.
Facebook came out around January 2005 was when I got my first profile, and I went off to the races, and I opened it up and I said, wow, I would be able to stay in touch with all of my friends after I graduate through this platform. So over the time, getting deeper into Facebook and understanding how it's all connected and how it's all put together, you know, it started to evolve. Pretty much it got really serious in my junior year, because that was when I was running the Boston College Entrepreneur Society at Boston College.
Okay.
And at the time, I was in a situation where running this club, I wanted to find really cool speakers that I could invite that were entrepreneurial for the club. And I said to myself, what is the best, fast, easiest way to get to people? And at the time, it was using Facebook. And so basically I jumped into Facebook and I said, I'm going to go and find entrepreneurial people to connect with, and the entrepreneurs that want to come and add value to our club, if coming to speak and share their story, that's where it all started. So I basically was going into Facebook groups at the time, diving into entrepreneurs under 30, entrepreneurial people. I love building businesses. Would friend everybody. Now, again, that doesn't work anymore, so that's the little asterisk there. Friend everybody,
right.
And then basically send them, hey, I found you in XYZ group. I'd love to know what business you're in. What do you build?
Right.
All that stuff. And it started where I'd make connections and meet new people, and then I started invited about 97% of all speakers to the Boston College Entrepreneur Society to share, just from that one tactic. So, at that point, and then building communities, rolling into my senior year, I also was running a society as well. That was when I really started to see, blogging, content marketing. I can build a Facebook group with an email list of, at the time, it's funny, we're talking about, you're in real estate. I had one of the biggest Facebook real estate groups back in the day. I think I built it to like 4,700 people.
Wow.
And then once the groups platform changed from the old model to the new model, I lost them all.
Right.
I had no control over it. And one of the things that I always am a belief of, you got to control where your content's placed.
Yeah.
You can't be building something on rented land. And we'll probably talk more about that later. But the fact of the matter is, I would build a Facebook group of 4,700 people, and it was my own email list at the time. So while I did have an autoresponder, which is another term we'll probably talk about in this interview, I really mastered understanding the communities, understanding what people wanted, and building like interests, and then building a community that just grew organically. And in doing that, one of the aspects of the Entrepreneur Society, as I shared, I brought speakers. And so one of those speakers that I met the November of my senior year ended up being the first person that I started working with out of college.
Nice.
And he saw what I was doing online, and he came to me around December. He's like, hey, I'm writing this book, and I see what you're doing on social media and how you can do this. I want you to help me. And so I said, sure, I'll help you. I want a great reference. I'll dump my heart and soul into you. I'll help you structure your website. I'll help you think things through. I'll help you with your email list building strategy, how we can leverage content, how we can leverage all these platforms to build organic traffic on a daily, weekly, monthly basis that, monetizes into some great stuff. And that's really what happened. So I ended up graduating, and shortly thereafter started working with him and as his employee. And that was really where I earned my stripes. In that, I really threw myself into the whole content marketing space, where really our core strategy was we create blog content, we find a way to drive as many visits through it as possible, and we build marketing funnels off of that content. And that's really what I'd like to talk about and share with everybody today, because that's really the secret to success when it comes to this content marketing stuff. And so at the peak of working with him, we were doing about 20 to 70,000 visitors a month through his website, just leveraging social media and building strategic partnerships with people that were in our niche that we were serving. And through all of the learning and through all the analytics and understanding and ripping Google Analytics apart and seeing where traffic was coming from and seeing ways to get a piece of content into markets that we would have never touched before if it hadn't been for this blog or this piece of content, that experience was so valuable for me. So at the end of it, when I stopped working for him, that was when I branched off to doing independent consulting, and that's basically what I've been doing. For the most part, it's helping people think about, okay, I have this business, I've heard about this social media thing. Well, obviously it's not so new anymore, but I mean, I've heard about this social media thing, I've heard about this blogging content marketing thing, I've heard about infographics, I've heard about YouTube videos. Where's the money in this? How do we create some sort of leverageable strategic implementation strategy to create, profitable business results from beginning to end with, very little money? It's more so time investment, but at the same time, because you build the assets correctly and you start the organic traffic of the flow, I just made that up, organic flow of the traffic, you create just a system that can literally generate leads on autopilot and generate and print money on autopilot. And I'm going to share some of the examples here today as well. So that's awesome. Kind of a little bit of my backstory. I earned my stripes in that first position, and then basically you've been leveraging that and learning as I go along.
The funny thing is that until you said that, I thought only the Federal Reserve could print money on autopilot. So now I'm excited because, hey, we can be the Fed too. So one of the interesting thing that I like about what you shared is that you found a way to create value in the marketplace. You didn't wait for value to come to you. You took it, you expressed initiative, created the group on your own, and through providing value to who knows how many thousands of people, an opportunity came your way. And then from that opportunity, you turned that into other things, and you did something that I see very few people do, or at least not enough people do, is that if you do have to take a job, you take it for the experience, not the income, and you leverage that experience into what it is that you do today. So let's ask I guess the $1 million question in this case. Where is the money in this YouTube stuff, this online stuff? And I mean, you hear so much about it. I mean, one of the phrases that I've been hearing a lot lately is that YouTube has been the overlooked place for organic traffic. Now, obviously, if you're a business owner, if it's organic, that means you're not paying for it in dollars, but you made allusion to it that you're paying for it in time. So I would love to know a little bit more about what you mean in terms of time. So if I'm that guy at home and I'm just trying to get started, what can I do to begin to pay for it in time? Because that's probably the asset I have the most of. So that I can begin to build my business, attract buyers, attract sellers, or build any business online?
Absolutely, and that's really a great question, a great place to start, because really where I see most people make the mistake is they go after tactics and implementing before really stepping back and asking, who am I serving? Who am I serving? As an entrepreneur,
Right.
no matter whether you're building an information marketing business or a physical product business or a service business, it really starts of who am I serving? Mm-hmm. What are their needs? Mm-hmm. What's important to them? What problems do they have? And knowing that information, how do you create specific pieces of content that they can either find or you can strategically put in front of them? And I'm going to share a couple things today that will help people do that.
Okay.
Put it in front of them so that when they consume it, they build that trust and rapport with you personally or your piece of content.
Okay.
That then they can, come into your fold. So your website, sign up for your email, go through your structure and process. So, the really first thing that I always say is, okay, who's the market and who are we serving and what's important to them?
Okay.
That would be step number one.
Yeah.
And once you really understand your market and you understand what they want, you understand what they need, you understand the problems that they have, then it's okay, what are we going to create, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's specific pieces of blog content,
Okay.
whether it's audio, just like you have the Cashflow Diary podcast and you have Q&A with Jay.
Right.
What is that glue that's going to keep people learning from me before they decide to buy from me?
Interesting.
And so it's a shift in mindset where everybody, big media, it's put an ad, make someone buy something, and that's it.
Right.
And then have a funnel off of them buying. But from a content marketing perspective, it's how can I create pieces of information or something that's going to add value to them before they ever think about buying something from me. And then at that point, structure a business model that serves that mission. Because at the end of the day, the big goal is what I like to call lose control of your content. And what I mean by that is not only creating a viral snowball of content. So, I share the article with you, you share it with your friends, their friends share it with that.
Oh,
it's like
okay.
Your content wants to be so good that people feel like they're doing people a service by sharing it with other people. That's the first thing.
That sounds cool.
And then the second thing is, the viral snowball. It's like 3 to 5 to 9 to, however that exponential thing. I'm not really good at math like that, or at least on the fly like this. Structure content like that. Put angles together like that. And, in being in this since 2007, 2007, 2008, really doing it professionally for myself, for other people, it's like I always learn because it's like there are new things coming into the market. I'm spending time reading 50 to 80 articles a week just to stay on top of the niches and the trends within the space, because I'm looking at where's the next way that I can leverage my content that the average everyday person isn't spending time, and then leveraging that content. So like back in the day, when dig.com was a really popular website, it was a social bookmarking site. And in simple terms, the way it started is, if you can imagine 3 different buckets. You had dig.com in the middle of the website, you had all the user base, and then you had content on the internet.
Yes.
And the way dig happened is there were the users who would find the content, and then they would submit the good pieces into dig, and then the users themselves would dig certain things up, and the most popular ones hit the front page, and the other ones didn't. But the ones that hit the front page, they would get anywhere from 50,000 to sometimes millions of views and millions of backlinks, which increase their Google rankings and all that stuff. So like, and back in the day, I was one of those top diggers. So I would put pieces of content on the front, I'd submit, I'd do my work, and then, things would pop. Some of the content was for myself, was for other people. And to be able to see the inflow of traffic and like learn of, okay, what's that website? I've never heard about that one before, because it's like, it was just really interesting. So long story short, I would first start with, who am I serving? What content am I going to create? How am I going to create it? This is another key question. How am I going to create it and structure it and optimize it so that market is going to actually find it? And then once they find it, what is the next thing I'm going to ask them to do that's going to serve my goals as a business that's creating this content?
Got it. So you're saying I can't just write an article and hope people find it.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay, so clearly we've been doing that wrong. So walk us through that process. What does it look like to find that market and ask those questions in the order that you're talking about? How does one do that?
Sure. So assuming that, again, I'm going to have kind of two paths here. If you don't have a business and you're starting with nothing, again, knowing your market better than they know themselves is step number one. You can do that by going into specific forums and saying, okay, what are these people talking about? What are the trends that are always coming up? Where are the problems coming up?
Got it.
Another great place is going to Amazon. Going to Amazon and reading book reviews from people in different niches and going and saying, what do the 1-stars say? What are the 1-stars not happy with what this book didn't deliver? What do the people like? What people don't like? What can I learn from that intelligence? Another place that you can go is it's Google Insights, and you can basically do research for specific keywords that people are searching, and it shows you where in the United States or where in the world are these keywords being searched, what's the trend of the keyword being searched over time, what's popular, what's dying, that kind of stuff is really powerful. And then you look at how many people are searching that keyword every day. People search to solve problems. And it's like, if your content can be that initial problem-solving exposure to your business, people are going to build more trust with you. They're going to build more rapport with you. They're going to build more rapport with your business. So again, that's the starting off phase with the person that's starting with nothing. If you're a business...
Hold on. How much money does that cost? The Google Insights or any of those tools that you
It's all
just
free.
mentioned? That's what I thought you were going to say.
It's all free.
That's like counterintuitive, because I always tell people that where there's chaos, there's cash flow, that you're looking for problems, not properties. And you're saying the same thing, but you've given me a new way to look at that, because I would have never thought to go through Amazon and look at the 1-star reviews. But what you're saying is that those 1-star reviews are the clues to what the marketplace would like, that they would like. And if you can answer and solve the 1-star reviews, you have a shot at actually making a product that they want. And this Google Insights thing sounds just awesome.
And here's what's even better. You don't even have to be
Wait,
creator of the product. You don't even have to be the creator of the product.
Wow.
If you know how to market and sell and get people in front of and use content marketing to build a targeted email list, you can go partner with an expert and say, listen, expert, I don't see that you have any products. I have this market of 10,000 emails in this specific niche who you would like to serve. Let's find a way to work together where I can do a revenue split. You create the content, I'll do the marketing, I win, you win, customers win. It's a win-win-win altogether.
Wow. Okay.
So
This is cool.
that's for the person who doesn't have a business, who's not going to start with nothing. But when it comes to the business, which is something that I really have enjoyed, and after I stopped working with the person that I was working with who was the author, it turned into the first company that I was working with was a manufacturer of spelt bread. And spelt is a specific, it's a cousin of wheat, and it basically, in short, without getting too detailed or too natural foodie, it can actually, in most cases, help people with wheat allergies and wheat sensitivities can still eat the bread.
Okay, so spell it for us?
Spelt, S-P-E-L-T.
Interesting.
Yes,
okay,
it's
got it.
Interesting. It was new to me. New to me. So in the specific business example, from a content marketing perspective and leveraging content in order to build traffic and build audience and build trust, you have to think, okay, these people are buying bread. Why are they buying this bread? what's important to them about this bread. What problems is this bread solving? How can we tell a story with content? You know, it was in Amish country. So I said, okay, we're going to be creating some pieces of content about what does it really mean to be Amish. You know, it could be an article. You know, five misconceptions everybody has about being Amish.
Sure.
You know, that could be a piece of content. You know, the intro of it could be, you know, most people in America think the Amish are blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Well, you know, they're not, you know, while you may have some assumptions about that, well, we're really going to kind of open the vest of what's really true.
Right now
you
they're
know?
thinking they're not online, but go ahead.
Exactly, right? Exactly. So, you know, it's an interesting thing. So we leverage that. You know, we leverage the whole fact of non-GMO. And like the whole GMO conversation was really new at the time I was working with them around August of 2009. So we're like, how can we leverage and be one of the forefront authorities from a manufacturing standpoint on the GMO conversation, and how does that relate to our products that makes our products great?
I see.
You know, and then thinking from a content strategy of, 5 ways to use spelt bread in creative ways for your next meal. You know, that kind of content, it's, you know, anything with recipes is really powerful.
I see.
So, you know, recipe for success or recipe for this, or you know, there's multiple different content angles that you can take, and I'm going to show you some resources that are going to help people come up with that. I mean, to be brutally honest with you, when it comes to creating content, I mean, as we've chatted about, it's so, there's an unlimited amount of pieces of content. It's just a matter of what am I going to do, what am I going to implement, and based on the feedback I get, how can I optimize it so it becomes that ever-flowing traffic machine that doesn't stop.
I love
That's the goal.
Oh, every time you say ever-flowing traffic machine that doesn't stop, I think I get goosebumps or something.
Now, I know you're probably wondering, why on earth and is Jay talking about these things? I mean, Jay, there's been so many marketing things that we've been talking about. Yes, you're right, because there's so important. Being able to generate a lead, in my opinion, is the one thing that keeps a lot of people stuck at a job and not knowing how to generate, in this case, traffic is just another name, same thing. So just imagine you're trying to fill up your units and you need a way to do it, and your tenants are online, and now instead of relying on a broker or relying on another person, that doesn't mean, you know, cut those people out of your team. The point is I'm bringing you new ways to do the same thing, and which should, for some of us, stabilize your building, stabilize your cash flow, increase things, as well as put things in you know, the proper perspective. You know, that it's just amazing to be around the right entrepreneurs who have different ideas that we can all learn from to go out there and build our businesses in bigger, better ways. So with that being said, I know a number of you, you know, I'm going to be seeing you here shortly in the Chicagoland area. Looking forward to that. And then, yes, we'll be doing Phoenix later this month as well. Many of you have started letting us know that you have received your books. Congratulations. Glad that you have done so. And if you still want to get a copy of the book, obviously it's not too late. You want to send a text message with the word book into 949-682-3565. We'll send you a link so that you can go ahead and place your order for the book. We've also, and for those of you that are international, you can go to cashflowdiary.com/book, cashflowdiary.com/book. As well, something that may be of interest to you are 2 other things, just to make sure that you guys know. We do the web show. We are still doing the web show every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can go over to cashflowdiary.tv, watch it. I'm answering your questions as you guys fill out forms, and we ask you questions to figure out how we can help you. A lot of your questions are being answered there so that you have the opportunity to, know how to take your next steps forward and make things happen. Additionally, the audiobook, because we've had a number of you also ask about it. So I figured it was eventually going to be created. As I've said before, I say again, it's going to be created, and I am doing the voice. So yes, I'm learning about audiobooks. Yay. Just keep adding new talents, new skill sets to your business, and you too could do your own audiobook. Anyway, for those of you interested in making sure that you find out all the details of when that is going to be available, the audio version of the same book, Cash Flow Diary, 10 Steps to Creating Wealth in Any Economy, you want to send a text message with the word audio to 949-682-3565, 949-682-3565. All right. I'm going to get you back to the rest of the interview.
There are millions of people online, and you can pay for millions of clicks, ends up with very little of the right results, and you not actually know anything. And I guess I like this because it's a way for anyone, if they're just willing to invest some time, because if they can hear our voice right now, they have all, it sounds like they have all the tools they need. They have a computer, they have an iPhone, iPad, something to be able to hear this. So they have all the tools they need. We just need some direction. So what does that look like? What do we got to do?
Sure. So I'm just thinking, where can we start? So in most cases, I recommend that either people have a blog of some magnitude, no matter what. And I highly recommend that you get a self-hosted WordPress blog.
Okay.
Because you don't want to be on a blogger.com or a WordPress.com platform.
Why not?
That's rented ground.
Got it.
And there are many people in the past who have built a WordPress.com blog or built a Blogger.com blog, and they go to sleep at night, they wake up and they log in and go, oh, your blog's been deleted. It was a commerce-based blog, and all your content goes away, and you can't, get it. So, without getting too technical,
wow,
you want to go to a developer and say, I want a self-hosted WordPress blog, and here's my domain, here's my hosting account, and you can be up and running.
Wow.
If you're a current business, what you want to do is integrate a WordPress blog into your site already.
Got it.
So you want to have on the top menu a blog tab where it's like a blog and it's a homepage to your blog. And then when they click a blog post, it's an individual blog post.
Got it.
So as far as I'm just thinking, where do you really want to start?
Anywhere is good, because at the end of the day, if I'm starting from scratch, all I know is I might be okay at creating content, but how do I get it in front of people? How do they find it?
It's a great question.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like the internet is so vast. It's not like everybody, it's like, if you have a phone, that's great, but if you never give out your phone number, no one's ever going to call it.
Absolutely.
So how does that connection happen?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm just, for all intents and purposes, without getting too technical about making a blog,
Yay.
I'm really just going to say, okay, you have your blog.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
The blog
you
is
worked
awesome.
with a developer. It's all set. You got
Yes.
your domain. Boom. Okay, now you're ready to put a piece of content together.
Yes.
And you've put it together, a written piece of blog post. Now what?
Yes.
Right? And that's where most people end. They go, I'm just going to post, and hopefully traffic shows up and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't happen that way.
No.
At all.
Not to me.
The work doesn't really happen until you push the publish button.
Okay.
Once the publish button happens, that's when the work begins.
Wonderful. This is like having a kid.
Yes.
Once the kid comes out, the work begins.
And at that point, and with that same thing, we have to also take into account and ask ourselves, when we put that publish button and we have that blog post, we have to also ask ourselves, when people get to my site, what's the next thing that I want them to do? Is it to buy something? Is it to opt into a list? Is it to download a freebie? Is it to download a newsletter? So,
I see the options keep going.
Yeah, is it to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel? Is it to subscribe to my Twitter feed? Is it to subscribe to my Facebook page? You, as the person starting from nothing, have to think, okay, I get somebody to the page and I read my content, now what? I'll put it back to, working with the author that I was working with. What our strategy was, we were driving the visits. We were doing 20 to 70,000 a month, and at the peak.
Yeah.
And at that point, we were saying, okay, we're getting all this traffic, and that was when, okay, what's the giveaway that we're going to give? Okay, we're going to give away the first 3 chapters of my book. And in the book, there's going to be a call to action at the bottom of the PDF, click here to buy my book on Amazon, or click here to buy my book directly through my website. So that was in the PDF. And then we have the opportunity to drip them email autoresponders. So if you guys don't know what an autoresponder is, that is a system and a tool that allows you to collect email addresses and automatically deliver emails to those people who sign up for your list.
Got it.
So, you have to think about, okay, they get to the page, or do I want them to sign up for something? And when they sign up for something, what are they going to do after you get their information? What are you going to try and market to them? What are you going to try and connect them to? And once they're there, then what? You're always asking the then what question, because that's where the opportunity opens up.
Got it.
And what's going to take it to the higher level is asking the community, you're on my list, you've downloaded my thing, you've signed up for my this, you've signed up for my that. What other challenges do you have that I can help you solve? You know, you talk about what really understanding the market before getting to the deal.
Yeah.
You know, what does the market that I'm serving want? And ask them, flat out ask them. You know, so many people are so afraid to press that send button on their email list. And so by asking them, that's where the more opportunity is going to show up. While you may come and do all your research and think it's going to be one way, the market may steer you another way. And I'll tell you where that happened. Working with that author, we initially were going after the budget-conscious entrepreneur building a business in college. And as we started collecting data and as we started driving more visits and as we started getting emails, that's when it went to, oh, it's the women entrepreneur that's downloading and resonating with this. We got to switch course and we got to serve them.
I see.
So, while, it never always works the way you think it's going to work, and I'm sure that you can totally relate to that. So, with that being said, think about what's that funnel going to be? What's that next step going to be once someone gets there? So going back to your example, I have my blog post. I've already thought about, okay, once I get the person there, I know what I want them to do. Then it's traffic pushing time.
Okay.
And the way you got to think about your traffic pushing time is once I have this piece of content that's going to serve a specific person or a specific audience, where does that audience hang out? That's the next question. Where can I effectively reach this audience in a way that's not spammy,
Okay.
but still, when people come in and consume what I have, they're happy that they consumed it?
Okay.
A very little, analytical question, but it's important because that's where the opportunities are going to show up. Okay, when I go into Google and I type in, let's say that you wrote a business tips article because you serve, the solo entrepreneur who's working out of their house, and you wrote this article about ways to be more productive working from home.
Okay.
And you said, okay, where do these working from home solo entrepreneurs hang out? Well, you can go to Google and type in, work from home entrepreneur forum, see what pops up. You can go to Amazon and say, business books. What business books show up, and then go to Facebook and say, what are the Facebook pages that I can find and connect to these people with this piece of content that have shown up? You can go into YouTube and you can say, okay, start a business. Who are the people that are, on those channels commenting? Who are the people that are the owners of the channels that are putting the content out? There's multiple places that you, again, it's almost to the point where there's so much that it's better just to ask the big question and let the market show you where to go, as opposed to you saying, I'm only going to do this or I'm only going to do that, because it's different for every business. So I'm going to show a couple tools on the computer here that will help people that are just starting, that want to get things out. So this is just my own site, and before we get to those tools, I just want to show you where my calls to actions are right now. So right now, this is my main site, and I totally apologize for the simple design. A long time ago, my theme blew up, and I just haven't made the time to fix it because I've been working with everybody else that I've been working with. So, as you see here, there's a couple tools that I want to point out. This is an article that I wrote on, obviously I'm serving the small business market or the mid to level business market. And, it's how to make more sales and keep more profit in your business. And I break it down, step by step. What are the questions you should ask? And as you notice, on the right-hand side, there's this little yellow sticky thing that's popping down.
Yes.
And so this is one of the things that I want to point out to people. Basically saying, don't have the time to read this 5,000-word article, download the Reader's Digest version for free. Click here, no opt-in required. And this opens up a sales funnel. We can go deep into that, but we're not at that point yet. So that was another call to action. Another call to action that you can see is, the one thing you can do right now to increase sales on your WordPress site. Click here. That is selling a product that I'm selling right now. And that's another piece of where someone can go. And they're going to keep reading and reading and reading, and they're going to just, wow, this is amazing content. Who is this Scott Bradley person? Scroll. And I'm going to actually click into the blog post, assuming that they came in on an individual link here. One second. Now, another piece of thing that I want to point out is look at the thing on the left-hand side.
Right.
That's a WordPress plugin called Dig. And the reason that's important is because, again, thinking about that question, once I get someone to this place, what do I want them to do? Well, I want more traffic.
Right.
So I want more of the traffic of people coming in. So let's say someone in the business niche reads this. They're connected to other people who read business-based articles. I want them to press the tweet button. I want them to press the Facebook share button. I want them to press the Google Plus share button. So that's a call to action here. Another call to action here, and I just want to point this out. I'm going to point out this tool for you here, is this plugin here called May We Suggest.
Okay.
Now this is the plugin that I'm actually selling. I'm the owner of this, so it basically, in short, it allows someone who's doing content marketing via a blog to customize the plugin to show up any way they want. They're able to customize what banner do they want here and where do they want it to click, and then also customize what articles do they want to show up here
On their own blog?
on their own blog based on, and what that allows people to do is, if an article was written about business tips, you can go through all of your blog posts and say, what are the articles that would be most relevant to someone who just read this business tips article?
Got it.
And it allows you to customize that so you can keep people on your site longer, keep reading more content, building more trust, and it really is a valuable thing.
So what if the content is video instead of written? Same
That's
thing?
totally fine, because the fact of the matter is you can structure these links to point to other websites, so via a redirect on your website. So a simple redirect is taking a URL, so scottbradley.name is my URL. I could create a page within WordPress and redirect the scottbradley.name/video1 YouTube and connect that to a video on my YouTube channel. So not only can you keep people in your site going in the circle, but you can also point them to other places. If you're an affiliate and you're in affiliate marketing, you can put affiliate links there in the same manner. So it really is a flexible, movable thing that you can use that's part of the call to action. So, I have my post here. I've got all my elements here. I know exactly, where I want my traffic to go once it gets here. Now I'm going to go into, and by the way, just to let you guys know, it's maywesuggestplugin.com, and that's where that plugin is if you are interested in learning more. The very first place that you can go to start driving traffic and getting in front of the right audiences, there's a tool that I use called Viral Content Buzz. And in short, kind of similarly to the dig.com website where you have users, you have the website, and then you have content, this website allows you to take your pieces of content, put it into the Viral Content Buzz system, and people are incentivized to share your content with their networks. And the only way that you put up your content to get shared is if you share other people's content. So it's a true collaborative content sharing platform where you're able to put up good content. People that like it are going to share it for you, and vice versa. You're going to share theirs. So it's I scratch your back, you scratch my back.
Got it.
That's a tool that could be used immediately to start getting traffic.
Wow.
Another tool that's I've used in the past, and I actually know the owners of this company, totally not getting paid for it, but it's called Social Buzz Club. Same modality in how things are done.
Okay.
I upload my content, I share other people's content, I get enough points, I'm able to share my content, vice versa. It's a nice circle. And it's interesting, there's a lot of influencers in the online space who are on these websites. Like, I know them. They were some of the top diggers that were on this website because Dig's dead. Dig doesn't work anymore the way it did in the past.
Got it.
So, you're always looking for how can I drive more visits through content. So those are the two places that I would start. Then I would say, okay, looking at my own personal assets, I have a Facebook profile, I have a Facebook page, I have a Twitter account. Taking it to the next level, I have friends who have Twitter accounts. I have friends who have Facebook pages.
Yes.
I have friends who have ways to touch people in a positive way.
Okay.
And if your friend's really your friend,
Yes.
they will help you drive traffic to
Sure.
your content
Okay.
by simply saying, hey, I just wrote this article. I'm looking to drive some great traffic through it. Would you share it for me? Hey, what can I do for you if you do this for me?
Yeah, right.
And I'll tell you that that was a huge tactic that I learned working with this author, because it was every person that I touched and came in touch with, it was, what can I do for you? Here's what our goals are. What are your goals? How can we work together? And it's taking that mindset of being into a space of how can I drive traffic, but also help everybody else. Because not only are you helping them by sharing theirs, they're helping you, but at the same time, your content is helping the market that they're connected to.
Got it. Yeah, this is, I guess what's interesting to understand is that concept that wealth is a team sport, but more importantly, it's not just about me. It's also, if you lead with your solution, if you lead with your solution instead of your need, if you lead with what you can provide someone else, that has a way of helping other people. Because I know that there can be the misconception that as an entrepreneur you want to try to keep it all yourself and live within this scarcity model. However, that's not anything close to what you're saying, because what was it, the viral content buzz and social buzz club, that's the exact opposite of those things. That is just founded on let's all help one another under this system, and so that the information gets out there. Like, it's interesting.
On that point, just to kind of bring it back to a real world example, I mean, one of the things that we would do from a content marketing perspective with the author that I was working with right out of college was, once the blog, we published a piece of blog content every single day. On Mondays it was a specific modality of content. Typically it was, the author writing a specific customized blog post of whatever he wanted to write about on Monday. On Tuesdays and Thursdays was our viral days. So those were the list-based posts. Those were the really link-baity posts that would be, and if people don't know what link bait means, what that means is it's an article that gets picked up by big blogs really fast, linked all around the net, just because it's really great content, or there's some strategic manipulation in a positive way. And one of the biggest things that we learned and that we leveraged in the scope of what happened was, there was a service called, there still is a service called Help a Reporter Out. It's also known as Haro.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And one of the biggest takeaways that we got from that, I can't remember exactly whether it was me or him or we figured it out together, but we exploited it in such a positive way that helped and create so much abundance of traffic and links. One of the things that we did was that, if you don't know what Haro is, it's a service that you sign up for as a source. So a source that can provide information, and then the media sign up for it as well. And every day you're sent 3 emails, and 3 emails, and in each email there are reporter pitches from media looking for sources. That would be you, that would be me, looking to provide tips or content, or for instance, the whole thing with the story with the Clippers guy. There are media that are looking for people to talk about that one thing in specific angles and things. So what we did, and the leverageable thing that we learned and that we exploited, where it was a very small window of opportunity, and at the time, it's an email that goes out to 70,000 plus people per day, three times. And we said, okay, well, let's be the source looking for people. Okay. We flipped the equation where everybody's sitting there, I want this PR and this thing. We're saying we're going to be the source, and then we're going to figure out a win-win that's going to create value for us and value for them and value for the market. So what we ended up doing, which is very few people know this unless they were really on the inside of understanding this, we became the source, and we would say, we're XYZ.com, and we're publishing an article on productivity, and we're looking for productivity tips for entrepreneurs. What we would do is we would get flooded anywhere from 80 to over 100 tips when we would do that. And then what we would do is we would create a blog post with those tips, linking to those people who gave us those tips. And then when it was all said and done and we pressed the publish button, then we contacted all those 80 people and said, congratulations, your tip got to our blog post. Be sure to go share it in your social media. Be sure to go link it on your blog. So we built massive links, we built massive traffic, we touched new audiences and markets, and we generated more opt-ins because we were giving away his thing. So it was a nice little circle.
Wow.
So we would do that once a week or twice a week from that point. So we would leverage the content because it was like, okay, we're getting traffic from people who came on the thing. I'm doing traffic from where I was doing because it was like, publish the blog post. Okay, who are the people that I'm going to help share on Twitter? Who are the people on Facebook that are going to help me out? It's very mechanical, but when you have the framework and the structure built, then it's just taking action,
Wow.
So, from a business's perspective, it can still be done. It just has to be tweaked.
Wow.
According to what's the business, who are they serving, is it appropriate? Asking those types of questions.
Wow. I don't know if you guys have been listening, but this happened before on a completely different episode where I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm just ready to go do now. And I'm back at that spot where right now all I want to do is go do what he just said. So hopefully you're willing to move at the speed of instruction too. So if you would, Scott, give us a deeper understanding of, either may we suggest how can we use your plugin specifically to get to that, would you say 20,000, 70,000
Yep.
views? What could we do to make that happen?
So here's the fact of the matter. I mean, the Maybe Suggest plugin in and of itself is really meant to keep people on your site longer.
Okay.
It's meant to lower the bounce rate. Now, if you guys don't know what bounce rate is, it's basically when someone goes to a website, does not engage with it, and clicks off. That's called a bounce.
Okay.
So it allows people to keep staying on your site longer. But here's where it can help you generate more traffic. If your content is good and it's valuable and it serves the market that's coming into it, there's going to be a percentage of people that are going to share it, share that piece of content.
Sure.
So let's say they came in reading article A. At the bottom, you had May We Suggest, you had a specific article that related to article A. Someone's going to click that, they're going to open it, and then they're going to say, oh, this is really good, I'm sharing this. And because we had the dig plugin on the left-hand side, you're going to get more social media shares because people love your content.
I see.
And it allows people to, get access, as you see here at the bottom of my website, how to make more sales and keep more profit in your business. That's this article. So other people that are coming in through other avenues are seeing this article to click to. Another thing is, how to create social media strategy for companies who already have a customer base. Someone coming in wanting to know increase profit, increase sales, that would be relevant if they have challenges with that. But also at the same time, as far as generating cash flow, and generating revenue on an autopilot basis, imagine you as a blog owner that's using WordPress has a blog that's already doing 50 to 80,000 views a month. And you go, what are if I could think about my grouped blog posts that I've already written, are there niches of products that I can sell to those readers coming into those blog posts?
I see.
And so let's say that you have 5 different groups of blog posts, all getting, let's say group 1's getting 10,000 views a month, group 2's getting, 20,000 views a month, group 3, and you can basically customize the banner that you show up there. So you can find 3 different products. They could either be the ones that you create, they can be someone that you partner with, like I shared earlier, or it could be, something off of ClickBank. ClickBank is an affiliate network that you can go and sign up and find products from markets and sell them and make commissions, and that's another way. So, it's like, where so many people say, just create a piece of content and let it fly. No, you got to think, okay, I'm creating this content because really you want to come from a place of serving the market.
Right.
When you come from the heart center serving the market with my content, that is when the magic happens, because people can read the fact that, just like you're on Q&A with Jay, your heart bleeds on that show. Like you bleed value, right?
Thanks.
When people come on and read your article, create it with that in mind.
Yeah.
And think, okay, I'm bleeding this value for someone to understand who I am, how I can add value to them. But then you put in those calls to action. You put in those, sign up for my email list this way. So, it's more than just a plugin.
Yeah.
It's more than just a blog post. It's more than just a tactic.
Wow.
It's a holistic look at, hey, who am I serving? What content am I giving them? Once they get to my content, then what?
Wow.
And while some people, they focus on only one of those, and then they fall down on all the others. So it's like holistically thinking about that as opposed to just looking at one thing.
All right. Now, you know exactly what you need to do. You needed to move at the speed of instruction. Lots of resources given to us here on this particular episode of the Cashflow Diary podcast. However, I want to end. Yes, I want to end this episode with words from you guys. So we have a testimonial for one of the products that someone has been able to take advantage of. But most importantly, I want you to hear just how excited people are to be generating results. I look forward to talking to all of you guys again soon. Until next time.
Hey, this is Daryl Dunn from Northern California. I just wanted to reach out and thank Jay for his support. Had an idea of what I wanted to do in real estate, and just working with him one-on-one. He asked really effective questions, getting me zero in on what investment strategies that I want to do, and just really getting me focused and getting me on the right road. So thanks, Jay. I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you for investing your time with Jay Massey and the Cash Flow Diary. When you have a moment, please visit iTunes and leave a positive comment about the show. And go now to our website, cashflowdiary.com, to take advantage of our free business building course, Cash Flow Foundation. Gain the knowledge, understanding, and skill that will teach you how to never need a job again. Until next time.